So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs in a short span of time within 30 minutes. The idea behind this lecture series is that you get to cover your current affairs in a very short span of time so that your entire day gets freed up to cover other parts of your UPSC syllabus like polity, geography, history, economy, and other subjects. Now, just watching this lecture series would be job half done. I cannot emphasize on this more, but revising this lecture just after watching this lecture is very important. It will take another 20 minutes to revise this lecture, but through revision, you will be able to consolidate these current affairs in your memory, okay? Or else you'll quickly forget them in a matter of couple of days. So revision is very important just after watching this lecture. Now, where can you revise these current affairs from? Well, along with this lecture, we are going to share the notes for this lecture, and these notes shall be shared on our Telegram channel. Where can you find our Telegram channel? Well, below this video in the comment section, there is a link. You just have to click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there, you can download the notes and spend the necessary 20 minutes revising it. All right? Okay. Now, first, let's take a look at the list of topics that we are going to cover today, and then we'll begin our discussion on today's lecture. Okay? So topic number one is related to India-China rapprochement. Now, rapprochement means that when two enemies start engaging with each other, start talking to each other, right? So India-China have found that rapprochement with each other. The frozen relationship between the two countries is starting to thaw. So we'll talk about this, okay? Then we'll talk about a discovery made by Indian scientists related to hydrothermal vent in central and southern Indian Ocean. So we have found a hydrothermal vent in deep inside Indian Ocean. Okay. Now this is very significant discovery with respect to India's deep ocean mission. India had launched a deep ocean mission. Now this discovery is very significant from that point of view. So we'll talk about this. Then recently, Parliamentary Standing Committee came out with certain recommendations with respect to the sector of agriculture. So we'll talk about those recommendations, and we'll also know what Parliamentary Standing Committee is. And in the end, we'll talk about a recent initiative taken by Ministry of Environment in which Gangetic dolphins, which are an endangered species, okay, Gangetic dolphins have been tagged so that we can monitor their movements. Again, this would be very important from the perspective of Project Dolphin, which was launched in 2020. Okay, so we'll talk about all these four issues. Number one is related to IR, which is GS2. Number two is related to, well, environment and science and technology, so GS3. Number three is related to polity and agriculture, so more or less GS2. And number four is related to environment, so GS3 again. All right, so let's begin our discussion, starting with topic number one, which is a very significant news related to India-China rapprochement. Okay, if you didn't know what this word meant up till now, well, now you have learned a new word. Okay, so moving to repair bilateral ties that headed south or remained frozen after Chinese incursion in 2020 into the Galwan Valley. After the Galwan Valley dispute in 2020, relationship between the two countries froze. Okay, but now the relationship is beginning to warm up now. Okay, thawing is seen in this relationship, especially after when Prime Minister Narendra Modi met President Xi Jinping in BRICS summit October this year. BRICS summit happened in Kazan, Russia, right? After that, the relationship has been warming up. Okay, now the two sides have agreed upon 6 points where they will work on. Okay, these 6 points are known as 6 consensus. Now, these 6 consensus were announced by two sides following talks in Beijing between National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi. Okay, both of them are also known as special representatives for relationship between India and China, or improving relationship between India and China. So both of them were tasked with improving relationship between the two sides, and that is why they are known as the special representatives. All right. Now, what is this 6 consensus that both of these leaders talked about? All right. So the 6 consensus are basically 6 points over which both sides would work on. Okay. Now these 6 points were the result of thawing of ties between the two countries that started. Now the relationship started warming up in October on the sidelines of BRICS summit in Kazan. And after that, many high-level officials started meeting from both sides. Okay. 6 consensus deal with resolving the boundary issue. So all these 6 points revolve around basically 3 issues. Resolving the current boundary dispute, border dispute, then refining the rules related to conduct of security forces in border areas. So first of all, we'll resolve border disputes, then how both sides should behave at the border areas. Those would be refined, and then confidence building measures would be taken. Okay. Now, these confidence building measures would include resumption of Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. Now, as you know, Kailash Mansarovar Yatra is very important for Hindu pilgrims, but the region lies in Tibet, China. So, after the Galwan Valley dispute, this yatra was in suspension. Now, talks are there to resume this. This would boost confidence between the two sides. Then, trans-border river cooperation. There are many rivers, including Brahmaputra, that come from China to India. Now, both these sides need to cooperate with respect to exchange of data, water-related data. Okay, so this is again a confidence-building measure. And Nathula Pass. It is a pass in Sikkim which connects India and Tibet. Okay, so Nathula border trade shall resume. Again, a confidence building measure. So these 6 points are talking about these 3 things: boundary issues, rules for border conduct, and confidence building measures. All right. Now, just after the release of these 6 points, both sides gave their take. Okay. Ministry of External Affairs from India said that the special representatives exchange views on bilateral regional and global issues of mutual interest. Plus, both the leaders or both the special representatives agreed that it is in the interest of both countries to have stable, predictable, and amicable India-China relationship. All right. Now, even the Chinese side said the same thing. In fact, they said that India-China relationship is very important because next year would be the 75th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic ties between the two sides. Okay, 75 years ago, or if you are in 2024, then 74 years ago, both these sides established diplomatic ties. Okay, so warming up of relationship was very important to mark this very important anniversary. All right, so it's very good news for both India and China. We don't want enemies on our border. We need friendly relations, or at least amicable relations, if not friendly, with our neighbors. All right. The next topic is a very important scientific mission, related to very important scientific mission by India. Now, it is related to hydrothermal vent in Indian Ocean. Okay. Now, what is a hydrothermal vent? Hydrothermal vent deep inside the ocean, along the seabed. Okay. There are fountains of warm water. Now, temperatures deep inside the ocean are very low. Water is very cold when you go deep inside the ocean, but you find fountains of warm water, or kind of like hot springs deep inside the ocean. Now, these hot springs are called hydrothermal vents. Generally, the water should be cold, but these hot springs have warm water. These hydrothermal vents have warm water. Okay. Plus, these hydrothermal vents are rich in minerals, gold, copper, and many other minerals. Okay. Plus, life is also possible. Generally, life is impossible. I mean, very difficult to exist deep inside the ocean because sunlight rarely reaches there. But around hydrothermal vents, some life is possible. So it's a good opportunity that Indian scientists can study this life also. Now, this is the significance of hydrothermal vents. Now, recently, a team of Indian oceanographers have captured the image of an active hydrothermal vent located 4,500 meters, that is 4.5 kilometers below the surface of Indian Ocean. Now, why is this hydrothermal vent important? Because like I mentioned before, hydrothermal vents are rich sites for mineral deposits. So this site holds potential for mineral exploration as part of India's 4,000 crore deep ocean mission of Ministry of Earth Sciences. So Ministry of Earth Sciences launched a deep ocean mission. Under this mission, we would explore different mineral sites along the seabed. Okay, and this is a 4,000 crore mission. So for this mission, this discovery holds significance because now we have found a site where we can mine important minerals. Okay, and this mission would be successful. Imaging of hydrothermal vent was done by a team of scientists from National Center for Polar and Ocean Research, which is in Goa. Remember this institution. All right, and remember that this institution functions under Ministry of Earth Sciences. All right. Now the thing is, What are hydrothermal vents? Okay, so let's talk about this. So hydrothermal vents, as you can see in this image, this is an underwater image, but these are uh, fountains of hot water, hot springs. So these hydrothermal vents are largely found near tectonic plates, where two tectonic plates are merging, converging or diverging. Okay, these are underwater springs where cold water, about 2 degrees Celsius, prevailing near the seabed, comes in close contact with magma in the tectonically active region. So what happens is, this deep water is very cold at around 2 degrees Celsius. But when it comes in contact with hot magma, hot lava, it becomes warm. Okay. So when this cold water trickles through the cracks and fissures of these tectonic plates, the surface is cracked. So this cold water trickles through those cracks, comes in contact with magma, and then rises upwards because it gets heated up. It can turn into super hot water, which is around 370 degrees Celsius, which is very hot, and later emerge as fountain plumes. Now, these fountains are rich in minerals, gases, chimneys, through chimneys and vents. So these are chimneys. Okay. Now, this water, because it comes from deep inside the earth, it carries some minerals, the magma it comes in contact with. So these sites are rich in minerals also. Okay. So it is a good source of mineral mining for India. What is the significance of this discovery? Well, the deposits from hydrothermal venting are generally rich in copper, zinc, gold, silver, platinum, iron, cobalt, nickel, other economically beneficial minerals and metals. And if India can tap into it, okay, then India will become significantly rich, because there is currently a global race going on for getting access to these minerals. Okay, so this is a very important discovery. Okay, then this discovery significantly enhance India's deep ocean mission. Within India's deep ocean mission is India's Samudrayan mission. Okay, under Samudrayan mission, we will send a submersible vehicle deep inside the Indian Ocean. Okay, and this submersible vehicle will go deep inside, like 4,500 meters deep, and would find mineral resources. Okay, so this discovery is significant from that perspective also, from the perspective of getting minerals and metals. The other significant point is that through this discovery, we can also get answers to how life flourishes around these hydrothermal vents. The thing is that for life to function, you need sunlight around. Why? Because autotrophs or plants use this sunlight to do photosynthesis, and this photosynthesis produces food, and on this food, life is sustained. So if there is no sunlight, there is no photosynthesis. There is no photosynthesis, there is no food. When there is no food, there is no life, right? But here, along the hydrothermal vents, of course, sunlight doesn't reach, but food is still produced. Now, without sunlight, how can you produce food? There is this another phenomena which is known as chemosynthesis. Okay, because along these hydrothermal vents, minerals are released. So there are some plants which utilize these minerals and produce food. Okay, so unlike photosynthesis, which requires sunlight for photosynthesis, under chemosynthesis you require these minerals for producing food, and hence life is sustained along these hydrothermal vents. Had there been no hydrothermal vents, life wouldn't have been possible deep inside the ocean. Okay, because of the process of chemosynthesis. So we'll get access to insights regarding this chemosynthesis and life along hydrothermal vents. Okay, so remember chemosynthesis. All right, now let's talk about Deep Ocean Mission from India. So Deep Ocean Mission is a mission by Ministry of Earth Sciences which aims to develop technologies and capabilities for deep sea exploration. Because you see, these submersible vehicles which go deep inside the ocean along the seabed, they are very difficult to build and they require very high tech technology. So Deep Ocean Mission was launched so that we will be able to build these technologies and explore the deep oceans. Okay. As part of Deep Ocean Mission, India launched Samudrayan 2021. This Samudrayan is basically a vehicle, a submersible vehicle called Matsya 6000. It will go deep inside the ocean, 5 kilometers deep inside the ocean, and explore the seabed of the Indian Ocean. Okay, so under Samudrayan, we are building a Samudrayan which is called Matsya 6000. It will go 6,000 meters inside from the surface of Indian Ocean. Okay, it's a big thing. And this Samudrayan will be basically able to showcase that India has the capability of reaching deep inside the ocean. And if India can reach deep inside the ocean, then only it can mine these minerals. If you cannot reach there, if you just have the image of a hydrothermal vent, but you cannot reach there, then what is the point of discovering minerals if you can't have them? So this Samudrayan is basically important to create a pathway for Indians to reach the site of these minerals, which is deep buried in the ocean, and then extract these minerals. All right? Make sense? Okay. Then we move on to our third news item, which is related to Parliamentary Standing Committee on Agriculture. Okay. So recently, Parliamentary Standing Committee, as the name suggests, it's a committee of Parliament. Parliamentary Standing Committee on Agriculture, Animal Husbandry and Food Processing has recommended implementing a legal guarantee for MSP amid other recommendations for farmer welfare. Okay. So this Parliamentary Standing Committee has members from both opposition and ruling party. Its current chairman was a member of parliament from the opposition bloc, former Punjab Chief Minister from Congress Party, Charanjit Singh Channi. Now, this committee gave a set of recommendations. One of those recommendations is that you should have a legal backing for MSP. Currently, there is no law that backs MSP. So you need a law which mentions MSP. Okay. Along with this, he gave other recommendations also. So first recommendation was legal guarantee on MSP. This committee said that this would ensure financial stability for farmers. It would reduce suicides. It would mitigate market volatility. Prices in the market go up and down. MSP would stop that and would reduce debt burden and improve overall mental health of farmers. Then, burning of paddy residue, burning of straw by farmers is a big thing during the winters, and it causes a lot of air pollution, smog over northern India. So farmers need to be encouraged to not burn this paddy residue, dispose it off. So this committee said that government should provide financial compensation to farmers for disposing and managing paddy residue so that they have a financial incentive. Because if they won't have a financial incentive, they would straight away burn it. Okay. Plus, this committee recommended that government should double its financial support under PM Kisan scheme. Under PM Kisan scheme, small and marginal farmers, remember, only small and marginal farmers get 6,000 rupees every year. Okay. Now, this committee wants that government should double the amount to 12,000 per year. Okay. Plus, the committee recommends to waive off the debts by farmers and farm laborers, plus increased budgetary allocation for agriculture. Okay. There were certain other recommendations also. For example, this committee says that like we have medical insurance under Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana for the poorest of the poor or the poor people, 50 crore poor people get health insurance up to 5 lakh per year under PM Jan Arogya Yojana. So a similar scheme should be there for farmers, and this insurance wouldn't be medical, it would be crop insurance. So it recommended to launch a compulsory universal crop insurance for small farmers whose land holding is up to 2 acres. So these are marginal farmers basically. So for marginal farmers, there should be a universal crop insurance scheme. Then establish a national commission for minimum living wages for farm laborers. Those who are owners of land, those farmers are okay. But those who are farm laborers, there should be a minimum wage commission for them. Okay. Plus, this committee recommended that you should rename the Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare to Department of Agriculture, Farmer and Farm Laborer Welfare. Because generally, within the category of farmers, we do not include these laborers who work for these land-owning farmers. So to widen the ambit of government's welfare measures for farm sector, you need to change the name of it. Okay, this department basically. Now, that's all as far as this news is concerned. But these recommendations were made by Parliamentary Standing Committee. So the Parliamentary Standing Committee. Okay. So within Parliament, to examine different issues, there are different parliamentary committees. Now there are two types of parliamentary committees: standing parliamentary committees, ad hoc. Now, as the name suggests, standing parliamentary committees are permanent. Okay, for different issues. Ad hoc committees are for temporary issues. Whenever a temporary issue comes in, for example, NEET paper leak issue came in, so a committee would be formed to investigate the issue of national entrance examination leakage. Right now, that's a temporary committee, so it's an ad hoc committee. Now, standing committees are permanent. that are constituted by Parliament to deal with specific areas. So this Parliamentary Standing Committee dealt with agriculture, and it's a permanent committee. Okay. Now these committees are constituted at the beginning of each session. Okay, and ends when the session is over. So currently winter session is going on. So a new Parliamentary Standing Committee would be formed, and it would end with the end of the session. Okay, so these are parliamentary standing committees, though we would cover the issue of parliamentary committees in much detail, okay, when we'll cover the subject of polity. But as of now, this information is sufficient. All right. And now we move on to our last news item, which is very significant for conservation of biodiversity, especially aquatic biodiversity, and that is tagging of Gangetic dolphins. So the first ever Ganges River dolphin, the technical name for Ganges River dolphin is Platanista gangetica, was tagged in Assam in what is being deemed as historic milestone for Project Dolphin. The movement aimed towards conserving India's national aquatic animal. So Project Dolphin was launched to conserve dolphins, Gangetic dolphins, and remember, Gangetic dolphins are known as the national aquatic animal of India. Okay, like the national bird for India is peacock. Similarly, national aquatic animal is Gangetic dolphin. Now, this tagging exercise will help in understanding the species, seasonal migratory patterns, range distribution, habitat utilization. Basically, they would be tagged with a GPS sensor, and we would be able to easily locate these dolphins. So we would be able to study their movement patterns. Now, you need to know what Gangetic dolphins are. All right, so let's talk about them. So, as far as dolphins are concerned, there are in total 40 species of dolphins. Two of those species are found in India. Okay, one is, or the Indian subcontinent, Indus River dolphin. The other is Ganga River dolphin. Okay, and as the name suggests, Indus River dolphins are found in Indus and its tributaries. Ganga River dolphin is found in Ganga and its tributaries. Okay, now these two dolphins go by the name of Plantanistae. Okay, these are two dolphins, Ganges, Indus. Now, Ganges River dolphin are frequently found alone or in small groups. Plus, they quickly go away whenever they encounter a ship. Okay, they are very shy of human contact and ship contact. That is why it is very difficult to find them. Now, Gangetic dolphins also have mythological significance for Indians also. Why? Because in Hindu mythology, Gangetic dolphin is also known as the Vahan or vehicle for goddess Ganga. Okay, so its religious significance is also quite high. Therefore, all the more reason for us to conserve this dolphin. Now, this dolphin has local names. It's called Susu, Soon, Soan, or Soos in Hindi, Shushuk in Bengali, Hiho, Hihu in Assamese, Bhagirath, Shush, and Swangsu in Nepali. Okay. Now, as you can see, Ganga River and its tributaries, the entire Ganga River system goes through UP, Bihar, Bengal. That's why the name in Bengal. It goes through Assam also, okay, via Bangladesh. It was also found in Brahmaputra River system, and there are many tributaries of Ganga that come from Nepal. So these dolphins are found in Nepal as well. All right. Now, some other information regarding this dolphin. Well, Ganges River dolphin was once found across Ganga, Brahmaputra, Meghna, Karnapuli, Sangu rivers of Bangladesh and India, and Saptakoshi, Karnali rivers of Nepal. So it had a wide geographical extent. Okay, it was found in Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Northeast, and in these rivers. However, most of these areas don't have Gangetic dolphins and have become extinct from most of these areas. Gangetic dolphins are now just in very few numbers. They are found in some of these areas. Okay, in fact, Gangetic dolphin, both Indus dolphin and Gangetic dolphins are categorized as endangered species under IUCN Red List. Okay, now what are the causes behind their decline? Okay, first of all, the construction of dams and barrages in river actually block their movement and they die. Then river pollution. Then there are many hunters who hunt for these dolphins for their oily blubber. You can extract fish oil from this. And their habitat is also shrinking because rivers are drying, riverbed is drying. So these are the few reasons why the numbers of Gangetic dolphins have dropped significantly, so much so that they are categorized as endangered species under IUCN. Now, Government of India has taken many steps to revive the numbers of this national aquatic animal for India. Okay. Now, some of those steps are, First of all, India had enacted Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Under this Wildlife Protection Act, there is Schedule 1. If any animal or plant species is mentioned under Schedule 1, then Government of India has to take special steps to conserve this species. Now, Gangetic dolphins were included in Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act in 1986. Okay. Then there was the Conservation Action Plan for Ganges River Dolphin 2010-20. So these are the two steps taken by Government of India. Then in 2009, under Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, Gangetic dolphins were declared national aquatic animal for India. Okay. So this was a step again to generate more awareness regarding Gangetic dolphins. Then under Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2020, Project Dolphin was launched. All right. And that would be all. With that, we conclude today's session. Please do not forget to revise these current affairs. Like I mentioned at the start of this lecture, revision is very important for you to remember these current affairs for long periods of time, at least until your examination. So make sure you spend another 20 minutes revising them. All right. On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone.